Hi, and welcome to the second edition of the BW Momentum Conference 2025. Today, we're here with Jyoti Bansal from Tata. Tata Powers. Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. It's really nice to meet you. Okay, so the first question I want to ask you. Indian advertisements and Indian marketing campaigns have always been very iconic because of their ability to connect with audiences emotionally. They have this sort of human element behind them, which is what makes them so easy to resonate with, and that's sort of what we've been famous for. Now we're in an age where we're using generative AI, we're using sort of algorithmic and data derivative tactics in order to decide our marketing. In this sort of generation, how do we still maintain that authenticity and humanity that makes it easy to connect with audiences?
Lovely to be here, and thank you. I think it's a very interesting question. Gen AI, I think, is more a tool for us as advertisers and marketers, right? And the core of connecting with consumers is always authenticity, is always touching their hearts more than their minds, is always about emotions. So I think the most successful marketers and the most successful communication that we do for our brand building will be one which may use whatever kind of technology or data driven insights that come in, but eventually it will have to touch the hearts and minds of our consumers. So I don't think that's going to change. Yes, we will see a lot of, as there's a lot of enthusiasm about Gen AI, we will see a lot of, experimentation, we'll see a lot of um, animation, we'll see a lot of, that kind of stuff happening. But eventually, I think the best animation and the best Gen AI will also be the one which really touches your and my emotions.
Amazing. So it's sort of important to maintain that symbiotic relationship between the machine and the man.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Definitely.
Okay, great.
It's like we call it the AI, HI, the artificial intelligence and the human intelligence have to work together, because then only will we really create magic. Just AI can't create magic.
Incredible. Amazing. So the second question I want to ask you is more related to your panel. So I wanted to ask about influencer marketing. So influencer marketing can be a little bit tricky because your brand is collaborating with someone who already has a personal brand of their own, a pre-existing personal brand of their own. What kind of criteria do you keep in mind when you're picking out an influencer to collaborate with to sort of represent your brand? What are the things that you keep in mind in order to be cautious about this?
So I think one of the most important things is for the influencer that we are working with to understand our brand and to understand the clear guidelines and guardrails of what we can do, what we can't do, what we will do, what we will never do, what kind of tonality and personality we have. Because while the influencer has his or her own personality and their own authentic voice, and which is why we want to collaborate with them, because that's the way to reach out to their followers in a more intimate, one-on-one, personal way. So to me, influencers are like broadcasters, but literally they talk to me almost one-on-one, right? So that understanding and that brand authenticity has to come through in whatever they say. And I think we are very particular about these kind of parameters when we decide whether to work with an influencer or not work with an influencer. And I think in the industry that I work in, where consumer connect is a relatively newer concept, because the utility industry is still now being very government driven, and consumers really didn't have much choice in terms of which brand they have at their homes. It's it's a very one of the things that we use is media as influencers, right? So, journalists, so media brands, because that's the way the construct of the industry has been. And even there, then we are very careful about who are the media brands that we sort of create a relationship with to send our brand message out.
Incredible. Thank you so much for your insight today. I think this has been a really productive conversation. And thank you so much for joining us today. It's been amazing to meet you.